Anyway, Rosalie's twin Jasper is dating Alice, which I think would make things awkward, but what do I know? Rosalie's boyfriend Emmett shows up, and they all eat lunch. Things are pretty normal, until Edward shows up.
The five of us started to talk about how the food here sucks, though I don't know how the conversation got started. The food did suck. I knew this because I was eating like Emmett, and boy, he eats a lot. I felt the chair in front of me move, and when I looked up all I saw were sparkling green eyes. It was him. Appetite instantly went bye-bye, and trust I didn't want it to. I put the pizza that I was eating down and looked at it with disgust. Alice noticed this.
Seeing a rapist instantly makes Bella fall out of her chair. Alice is cross with Edward. She really doesn't want to listen to any more of his whiny bullshit about how he date raped some girl. She asks Edward what the deal with Bella is. Bella conveniently goes to an empty table, and Edward gets up and follows her. Nobody else does. Then Bella asks the ultimate question.
Who did you rape? I questioned back. He looked taken aback at how I knew.
Oh no! Turns out Edward remembers the false name Bella gave him, and a few other things.
I don't remember clearly. I was drunk. No, I wasn't drunk. I was completely wasted. I think though she had blonde and these amazing brown eyes just like yours. He said he was going to say something else but stopped. He looked at my eyes, suddenly going pale. Then he looked down at my sides. He lifted my shirt ever so slowly and put his hand where he had bruised it. He quickly took it back. He had figured it out.
He bruised her shirt? That bastard! Edward's instantly embarrassed and apologetic about raping Bella at the school dance.
I felt bad for him even though I was the victim. Hey, it's okay. I lied to him. You're not very good at lying, said Edward truthfully and smiling. I know, but it got you smiling, I said, touching his cheek. He leaned into the touch.
Wow. Just, wow. Hold on a minute. Alright, that should do it. What the fuck is the matter with this author? What the fuck? 1 minute, Bella hates this guy because he raped her, but then he apologizes and suddenly it's okay? How the fuck does that work? This author needs a serious reality check because this bullshit does not happen in real life. But anyway, Bella tells Edward that she's pregnant. He's quite shocked, and then they kiss, and the audience is quite shocked. And sickened.
Wow, I said. When not being forced to kiss him, I liked it. Sorry, that was out of line, said Edward, turning his head to the side. With my left hand, I closed Alice's mouth, and with my right, I grabbed the back of his neck. I pulled him down and kissed him, hard. I really didn't trust him, but I wanted him to know that if he was in on being part of this baby's life, then so was I.
Man, sex sure is awesome when I consent.
Don't wanna be angry, no.
I was assaulted. It's fun.
Once again, what the fuck is the matter with this author? It's like Bella has just instantly forgot that Edward committed an incredibly violent crime against her. He raped her, and she's pregnant with his child, and everything is a-okay because he said he was sorry? Even if a real-life rapist feels remorse for what he's done, I highly doubt that the victim will be quick to forgive. And even if the victim does choose the path of forgiveness, who in their right mind would decide to settle down with their rapist and raise the baby together? And if it's at all possible, this story just gets worse.
Not at all, said Edward, smiling a crooked smile. I hope the baby inherits that. Look at what I'm doing. I'm hoping the baby gets his father's gene.
I need to find something to slam my head against. Whatever. Bella goes home and tells her dad that she's pregnant, and we get a random flashback.
Flashback. Dad, Mom said to buy this one. I told him, pointing to a box of pads and holding it out for him. Are you sure your mom said this kind? Said Charlie, examining the box. Yes, she says those are the ones she used when she was my age. When I said this, Charlie turned scarlet red. I grabbed the box from his hand and started to walk to the cashier when out of the corner of my eye I saw tampons. What are these for? I asked Charlie. He looked to where I was looking and grabbed my hand, walking towards the cashier. "That is for another talk with your mom later," he said awkwardly. "Okay," I said, skipping to the cashier. He was a boy. "Here you go," I said, handing him the box. He smiled a creepy smile and scanned it through. Charlie walked next to me, showing off his badge. The boy's smile lapped. End of flashback.
Well, I for one am very glad that this was italicized, and that the author told us when the flashback started and stopped, because otherwise I just wouldn't have known! And I'm hoping that Bella's dad, Charlie, will do something about Edward date rapist Cullen. I mean, if he's flashing his police badge at a skeezy guy in the checkout line, he's probably willing to bludgeon a rapist to death, right?
Alright, Bella. Tomorrow after school we will go to the doctor's and see if the baby is healthy, said Charlie to my utter surprise. I grinned so much I thought my face was going to fall off.
Well, to be completely fair, Bella didn't tell her dad that the baby was a product of rape. However, he's taking this all really well. He doesn't seem to care that his underage daughter is pregnant out of wedlock. The next day at school, the author again goes out of her way to tell us that though Bella is pregnant, she isn't fat.
No one is staring at you. Be realistic, Bella. You did grow a tiny bit overnight, but really, it's so tiny. You didn't even notice this morning. Oh, the hell with it, everybody is staring at you and your stomach.
You don't gain weight when you're pregnant. Who told you that? Bella talks to Alice and Rosalie and tells them that she's pregnant. They instantly figure out that Edward raped her, even though she never comes out and explicitly says it.
That's the reason Edward was touching your stomach yesterday. You're the girl here, well you know, she Alice, feeling extremely uncomfortable.
Rosalie is absolutely furious that Edward has committed a rape, which is the first reasonable reaction that anyone has had so far.
The next time I see him, he is going to die an extremely fucking painful death, said Rosalie through her teeth. I had never heard her curse, but I guess there is always a first time for everything.
I've never heard her swear before. Of course, I've only known her for a day, but whatever. Rosalie continues to rant about Edward and his raping ways.
What? He has to learn some responsibility, said Rosalie, putting her hands on her hips, still angry. I smiled, knowing that if anybody ever hurt me, Rosalie would have my back.
He's just so irresponsible. Doesn't he know you can't run around raping people willy-nilly? The whole situation continues to get awkward when Edward shows up. Even though Alice and Rosalie are furious with Edward, they never express it or even tell him that they know what he's done to Bella. Edward wanders away, and Rosalie promises to have Emmett beat the living shit out of Edward.
An image of Emmett came to mind. He was huge. He could crush Edward with his pinky finger. This was the second time I felt bad for him in a week, and I was the victim.
Bella once again feels sympathy for the man who raped her, which is completely and totally realistic. I mean, if you were violated at the school dance and the guy who did it got you pregnant, wouldn't you feel bad if someone wanted to kick the shit out of him? Of course not! I'm going to stop asking what's wrong with this author. I'm instead going to say that she's a moron who doesn't know any better. But that's not a very good excuse. Bella, Rosalie, and Alice talk about how Bella is a victim, and Emmett overhears them. For some reason, victim is like this magic word, because upon hearing it, he decides that he better start kicking ass and taking names.
Victim? What do you mean victim? Who's the victim? And who do I have to kill? Said Emmett, cracking his fingers, neck, and back. He looked ready to blow because he was thinking that the victim was Rosalie.
There's a victim here? I guess I better go kill something then.